video I haven't actually done before, and that is to do a highlights video of all the book clubs that I'm in, because I love doing book clubs because it's a really great way to read books you never thought you would have read, and to be able to read them with other people and just to have a lot of fun. I'm actually in 3 book clubs, which includes the Biblio Squad, Kindred Readers and Fanatical Bird. So I'm excited to talk about these 3 clubs, and each month I do try to read the book of the month from each book club, so that's 3 books in a month that I do try to read. And sometimes the clubs do the same book, so like one does it earlier than the other one, so it gets a bit all over the place, but it's still a lot of fun. Like, I used to be in 4, but I dropped out of one of them because it was just too much, and I picked the ones that I liked the most, because I've gone through stages of being in different book clubs. But I just think it'd be really fun to talk about my favorite book of the year from each club, and also the most surprising book of the year as well. So I'm really excited to get into this and talk about my book clubs and give some praise, but let's do it. So we'll start with the Biblio Squad, and I have been following this book club since it started, and it's a YouTube book club that's also on Goodreads, but I watch the channels of the 4 girls that run it, and they also have live shows, but I'm always at work when the live shows happen on the Saturday, so I can never join in. But I do try to read the book of the month, and they mainly read fantasy to sci-fi books, and the books are always really current, which is a lot of fun. And the girls who run it all have YouTube channels, so I'll tell you all those channels and I'll link them down below, as well as the Goodreads link for the group as well. So the 4 girls are Jules from Jules Read, Nina from Demigods Are Dauntless, Kathleen from The Love of Books, and Grace from G-Swizzel Books. And I love watching all their channels, they're all great, and I love seeing them read all the books. I really enjoy them, but I'm just excited to get into my favourite book of the year and most surprising. So my favourite read was Flame and the Mist by Renee Ahdieh, and I think this was around May that this was the book of the month for, but this is one of my favourite books like of this year. I really enjoyed the story, and I'm so glad that they picked it for the book of the month, because I would have read this book anyway, but to be able to read it at the time it really came out and have a lot of fun trying to get to it and read it, and I really enjoyed the story. It was a really cool Mulan retelling, as well as a Ronin 43 or whatever it's called, but I love the characters and the magic and just how interesting the story was, and I'm really excited to see the sequel and see what's gonna happen. And yeah, it was a really good pick. And for most surprising read, I'm gonna go with Strange the Dreamer by Laini Taylor, and I think this may have been April's book or June's. I can't remember. They were all a bit like, I think like a few book clubs over the course of a couple of months did this book, and I read it for the Biblio Squad first. So anyway, this one was just really surprising, because I've always I've heard about this book since it was first talked about coming out, and everyone always had different opinions about it, and I wasn't too sure. But then I thought I knew I wanted to give it a try, and I was pretty surprised by how amazing this book actually was, because I didn't really know what to expect from it, because the synopsis was really confusing. Like, I really had no idea what was going on, and then I started reading it, and it did take a little while to get into it, but overall this book is really good. Like, I did give it 4 stars just because of the level of confusement that does seem to continue on through the whole novel. Could just be me, I don't know, but I really did enjoy reading this book. I had a lot of fun with the story concept, and I'm really excited for the Muse of Nightmares next year, and I'm really excited to see what the cover's gonna look like, because this is like one of the most beautiful things ever. Like, honestly, like, look at it. So I had a lot of fun following the Biblio Squad this year, and I can't wait to see what they read next. Okay, my next book club is the Kindred Readers, and they are run on Instagram, so I will link the Instagram down below, and there's about 10 girls who run this, so they do like post photos like each month, and they talk about the books, and they have a discussion day at the end on Instagram, so they're really fun to see the photos, and you get to know pretty well what the books are going to be. But definitely recommend go following this book club, because they do pick really good books, and I just love it so much. So my favourite read from them was Ironcast by Destiny Sawyer, and I just was blown away honestly by this book, but I really enjoyed the story concept. I hadn't heard of this book until I saw it for the book club, so I got it, and I was really like not too sure what was going to happen, but I just honestly loved it so much, and I'm so sad that this is only a standalone, because it should have had like a gazillion other books, because it was really good. And also, not many people have read this, so it was really good for the Kindred Readers to actually use this as a book of the month, because it got a lot more people reading it and enjoying it, and I think they do a really good job of that, of getting people to read other books, because they do have quite a few followers. Like, they're being a little bit inactive at the moment, like not posting as many photos, but it's understandable. It's a busy time, Christmas, and everyone might be doing a lot of things, so I understand it. And it's as long as I know what the next book of the month's going to be, because like the past 2 months I really haven't had a good job at trying to read the book of the months, just because I've had all my anticipated reads to do. But next year I'm going to be right back in there trying to read all the book of the months. And for most surprising read, I'm going with The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas. I loved this book. I was so blown away by this book, and I have so many people talking about it, but it wasn't something that I was really sure I I wanted to read. Like I didn't know if I was going to enjoy it or not. Like not that the story like idea was like anything bad, but I was still a bit hesitant around contemporaries. I know this isn't really like a contemporary fluffy story, but it still has that vibe of being normal. But this book is very important because it really shines light on so many issues that are out there in the world, and it was so good, and I can't believe it's getting made into a movie, and it won a Goodreads Choice Award, and I'm just so proud of this book for getting there, and I love it so much. And Angie Thomas, I just can't wait to see what else she's gonna write, because this book literally took the book world by storm, and everyone is just obsessed with it, and it's just awesome. And my third book club is Fanatical Bird, which is another Instagram one, and it's really fun because they also have a photo challenge, and it's really cool because some of these prompts surround the book and some of them don't, so you can still participate in the photo taking element and also do the book reading element. But I always do the photo challenge, but like again, I've been a little bit lackluster with it the last couple of months. I just had to get you the Instagrams of the girls here because I'm so used to saying Fanatical Bird, and that's a mix between their two unison names, and I'm like, ah. So you've got Ellie from Fanatical Fantasy, and she's actually such a great person. I love watching her on Instagram, and she started a booktube, but she's so passionate about this book club, and it's awesome. And you've got Ellen at Little Literary Bird, and I haven't really like seen too much from Ellen. Like I see more Ellie just because she was the first one that I followed and where I saw it from, but Ellen's a really great person too. She's really lovely, and I love seeing them both like doing this book club, and they just care so much, and it's so great. And because I haven't read too many books, because this book club is pretty like recent, like in the last 6 months, the book I'm picking is going for both questions here because this was my favorite and also a surprising read for me, and that was Tower of Dawn by Sarah J Maas. I was really hoping that I was going to love this book, and of course I was going to read it because it was Sarah J Maas, but it blew me away by how good the story was, and just how like we got Hale and Irene and every character and just their stories, and it was just so good, and how it just brought so much to the story, and it's going to be so awesome. And when we get the finale of this series, it's just going to be so great seeing all this coming together and just blowing the shit up. So it was amazing and surprising and beautiful. So here is my favorite books from all my book clubs of this year, and I'm just so glad that I have these book clubs to read and to be able to read so many amazing books that I never would have read without my book clubs. And yeah, I just can't wait until next year to read even more books with them, and I'll probably make this a yearly thing if I'm still in book clubs by this time next year. But anyway guys, thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you guys later. Bye!